Scorpio, Elif here bringing you your messages for the month of April. I will be focusing on love and career, but Spirit knows what you need to hear. Spirit knows why you've been guided to this video, and so Spirit will be guiding the messages for you. It is a general message. Please keep that in mind. So allow yourself to take a few deep breaths, center yourself and connect with your guides, to allow that you can hear and receive whatever messages are meant for you. There is a reason why you've been led here. There is a reason why you need to hear this message. So allow yourself to have an open mind and an open heart. Remember, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't feel right, then it's not for you. We all can do with a little bit of guidance from time to time. We are constantly communicating with Spirit. We are constantly communicating and asking questions, trying to come to clarity with the situations in our lives. And this is Spirit's way of bringing you some much needed insight into your situations. So as I said, you will know if it is your story or not. If it's not your story, don't try and make it fit, let it go. If it doesn't feel right for you, don't even watch the video, just move along. We need to be very selective about our energy. We need to be selective about what we welcome into our space and our lives. And we need to be intentional about these things. So set an intention to connect with your intuition, your guides, your keepers, and to be blessed regardless. Okay, let's get into it. The first thing that is coming to me is Spirit is saying that Scorpio, you've made a lot of mistakes in your search for love. You have made a lot of mistakes. You look at your history, you look at what's happened most recently, you look at where you are right now, and the thing that comes up for you is, shit, I've made a lot of mistakes. Okay, so what Spirit wants me to share with you is that you are not isolated in this instance. You are not alone in this regard. We all do it. We've all been there. We all move. Sometimes we move without caution. Sometimes we just want to follow how we feel in that moment. Sometimes we're moving in a direction really fast because we want to get away from another space or energy. Sometimes we're moving in one direction to avoid another one. Whatever the reasons may be, it always serves us. That is what Spirit wants me to share with you, is that the inner you has known what it's doing all along to get you to the place where you are now. And we are teachers in one another's experience. We come and we either show one another what we don't want or what you don't want. Maybe you think you want a particular kind of person. Maybe you think you want a particular kind of situation. And in welcoming that into your space and flowing into that energy, you only realize more and more that actually it's not what you want. And that helps you to become more clear on how your relationship choices and your choices with where you put your energy in general, how they contribute or do not contribute to your long-term plan and your purpose. I've already blessed the space, so I'm just going to get right into the message for you. That was just the initial channeling that Spirit wanted me to share with you, because that's obviously something that's been on your mind a lot, is the mistakes that you've made. But you need to stop seeing them as mistakes. You need to start understanding that that was you working through and taking a deeper, closer look at how you perceive certain characters, certain energies, certain situations, and you just, in your search for absolute truth, wanting to dissect it. You have people that they see a leaf, that's all they need to know. And then you have those who want to understand what is the chemistry and the makeup. Why is it that we call it a leaf? You know, that's just an example. And that's been you in your search for love. You want to understand. Um, as a sort of alchemist, you want to understand the different chemistry and chemicals and makeup of that particular person, that particular energy, that particular thing, why you were drawn to it, why you've been drawn to it, why there's an inclination to be attracted to a particular kind of person. And you need to stop seeing it as a mistake, and you need to understand that this has all been part of your research and all been part of you working through understanding why what you seem to be attracted to superficially and what you seem to be drawn to innately, why they are so contradictory from time to time. This is just the message that Spirit is wanting me to share with you. I don't know your story. I am just relaying a message. Okay, so what I'm seeing for you is this month, moving into April, you have been struggling with the choice. You've been struggling with the choice. Um, and you are at a place now where you feel you've made that choice, where you feel you've made your choice and you are going to be okay with it. You've made certain choices, you feel you've got to live with it, you're going to live with it, and you're going to be fine with it, and that's the end of it. But there's a level of bullheadedness that is coming through here. It's great when you make choices. You do the best that you can with the information that you have in that moment. And yeah, it's wonderful to decide to stick to it and see it through and push through. Why are you not at peace then? Because with making a choice, normally there comes a sense of ease and arrival and a sense of completion, a sense of clarity. I know where I'm going. You have the clarity, you've made the choices, but I don't get the sense of ease and peace. Why? Why do I still feel the energy of being torn? You've had to make a decision when it comes to your emotional well being. You've had to make a decision in the recent past, very possibly between who you'd like to be with, who you'd like to have in your life, romantically, emotionally. You've had to choose who you want to be with moving forward. And what Spirit wants me to say to you is the reason why you are not at peace with the choice that you've made in the past is because what you don't understand, and what you might have a better understanding of it now. Spirit is saying you've got a better grasp of this. You've come to this realization in the very recent past, but for a while you haven't completely understood it, and you're still not completely clear on this reality. The reality is that very often, and particularly in your case, choosing between people, choosing partners, choosing who you want to share your life with, choosing who you want to invest in emotionally, choosing who you want to invest in physically, spiritually, mentally, is all the same thing. That person that you choose is symbolic of, first and foremost, the choice between you, choosing yourself, choosing your purpose, choosing why you are here, choosing what sets you alight, choosing what ignites you, choosing what aligns you and what makes you feel completely whole with self, and choosing what feeds into your insecurities, your low self-worth, your superficialities, your lower desires, temptation, having what you felt you could not have, wanting to conquer, wanting to satisfy ego. That is what's showing up here. That is what's showing up here. That is the message that I'm having to bring to you, is that the reason why you've not found ease in the choice that you've made is because your choice has been more than choosing between two people. Your choice, those two people have been symbolic of your higher and your lower vibration. The one person was symbolic of you choosing your greater, truer, more fulfilled, more purposeful self. The part of you that is ancient, the part of you that is divine, and choosing the other person that just seems interesting, um, lower vibrational, you wanting to conquer something for your own sense of, I've arrived, or I've been able to overcome this, or this is someone that I just want to prove I can have. Um, you know, it's well, looking at this sort of scenario from the outside, it should, anyone would think it's the choice is simple, it's clear, but for you this has not been clear, and there's a reason why. There's a reason you've had to make a choice between two people who were symbolic of two very, very divided parts of yourself. And so that's what Spirit's wanting me to say to you. You've been divided within yourself for so long. That is why you've struggled with confusion. That is why you've struggled with that sense of being fulfilled. You very often get what you want. You make sure of that, but why are you not fulfilled? I just heard Spirit said you made the wrong choice. So you made a decision a long time ago that there is a certain way that you want to appear, that you want to show up, that you want to experience life. There are certain things that you are going to commit to, and you are going to stay committed to those things, and you're going to see them through until you have the outcomes that you want. As I've said before, there's a sense of bullheadedness here. You believe that what you are doing is right because it feels right. But does it really? The Spirit just said to me, you say to yourself, it feels right, but it doesn't feel good. Where in your life have you established that you are doing the right thing if it's difficult and if it's painful? What happened to make you come to this decision and this belief system that is not serving you unless you are feeling very fulfilled at this moment in time and you are feeling very satisfied and at peace with the decisions you made? And if so, you would not be searching for answers. You would not still be asking the questions, because where you are in your present and where you are at this point in time is evidence that you've made the right decision, that you've been doing the right thing. There's a sense of self-sabotage that's coming through here. You have been very committed to these old paradigms, very committed to this old belief systems. You've made certain decisions and you've just decided to commit to them regardless of whatever, whether you bleed or lose a limb or whatever the case may be. You're gonna do what is right. And yet, what is your evidence that you are doing what is right? Because if you are not feeling a sense of fulfillment, satisfaction, and joy in you doing so, then that is evidence that you are not in alignment with what you've come here to do. So there is a thought pattern, a belief system that is very deeply ingrained. You have learned this has been taught to you from somewhere, and you've committed to it. And Spirit is saying, you wanted to progress and you want to move your life forward by staying in the past and by staying rooted in those belief systems. You cannot acquire new ways of being, new energy, a new source of energy by holding on to the old toxic energy that's weighed you down. You cannot move forward and stay stuck. You just can't. You can't get there, wherever your vision is, by holding on and staying rooted in what has been. Because what has been has only served to show you that there is, and to ignite the desire for you to move forward, to move to something new, to move ahead. Okay. I'm hearing that the message I'm getting is wanting to have life happen on your terms is you setting yourself up for pain and agony. There's a surrender that needs to happen here. And as I said, with the choice that you've made of late, because Spirit says to me, you've made the choice, and you realizing that you probably didn't make the right choice, but still not wanting to admit to it because there is a stubbornness, a bullheadedness, as if life is going to come around and just set things up for you, that you can have the past and the future, you can have what you've always believed and what you need to acquire to move forward, and they're going to merge together. And part of your journey is that you need to surrender. You need to let go. You need to let go of old paradigms. In wanting to move forward and wanting to establish what is going to serve you in terms of love and your emotional well-being, you knew what gives you emotional fulfillment. It was clear to you, because when you were with this person, when you are with this person, every part of you feels fulfilled. You feel such emotional fulfillment. But you were hoping that you would just arrive, see what plays out, and that things would just fall into place for you. There was no desire to actually align, to actually do what is needed to make this happen, to allow this kind of energy to become a part of your life and your reality. You said to yourself, if it's meant to be, then it's going to happen. I'm feeling very strongly that I am speaking to you, but please keep in mind I could also be speaking to your person. You know how the story fits. Reverse the roles as need be, because your energies are intertwined, and I could be picking up on your or your person's energy, but the story that I'm telling is clear. That was the mindset. The mindset of you or your person was the person that needed to make the choice, whether that is you or your person. The mindset was very simply, if this is meant to be, then it's going to happen. I don't have to make any decisions. I don't have to make any effort. I don't have to root myself in anything. I'm just going to be here, be who I am, and I'm going to wait for it to come to me. I'm going to wait for it to choose me. But in doing that, you did make a choice. Being emotionally immature, very possibly because of past experiences or just because of fear of actually making a decision in love, and not being able to trust yourself, you took a neutral position. And that neutral position meant you didn't make a choice. So, if the choice is, do I stay here or do I climb onto the ship and go in the direction of something new, this new adventure where there's new possibilities? Because I've been here, I've been where I am here on land for the past 20, 30 years. I know what I've been able to establish here and what not. I know what the building blocks are for me to build what I want, and I haven't built it. So I know where I am, and I know what I have and have not done, and could or could not do, and what is at my disposal and is not. It does love live here for me, yes or no? I know that. I know that love does not live here for me, otherwise I would have had it and I would not still be searching for it. And there's this opportunity for me to move to new horizons where there is greater possibility for love. But I'm not sure. I don't know what is on the other side. I don't know what risks I'm taking. By staying, I know what there is here, and I'm not taking a risk, but I'm also giving up on obtaining what it is that I hope to find. And I have to surrender my search because it's not going to grow up through the ground miraculously. If it's not here, it's not here. So there's that. Or I take the ship and I don't know what is on the other side. I don't know where it's going. I, I, there might be danger. There might be obstacles. So I just stand here on the shore, on looking at the ship. Me being neutral is still me making a choice. I'm choosing to stay, and that's what's happened in your case. You believed in the position that you took, and you ended up getting exactly the outcomes that you chose. By not making a movement to move forward, not making a decision to move forward, you chose to stay indirectly, and that left you very unfulfilled. Because by staying, you are only going to keep getting what you've always got, what you've always gotten. This has left you very, very unfulfilled. And yet you still ask yourself the question, why? But if you always do what you've always done, then you shouldn't be surprised that you always get what you've always gotten. And that is the situation here. The choice you made left you heartbroken, though. It ended up in heartbreak. Or your person, if your person's the one that's made the choice, don't think for one moment that it's been easy for them. Their heart's been broken. The choice they made left them with heartbreak. And they wish there's so much that they'd like to tell you. But what would the point be thereof? There's a very, very sneaky person in your story. Very sneaky person. Sneaky, not sincere. It's very well, this could be your manipulative, this could be your, this person could very well be the other energy in your person's life, or the other energy in your life if you are the one that had to make the decision. And there's been a culture in the dynamic between you and this other person, or your person and their other person, of manipulation for a long time. But there's definitely been an awareness that that often the desire and the force that drives decision making, whether it is for you or your person, is associated with lower vibrational energies. This was more of a sexual connection, really, or something, like I said, there's ego, a lot of ego involved here, where it was a matter of, I just want to prove that I can have this person. Sexual dominance, perhaps. um, Feeding the ego. Temptation, playing games, manipulation. And there is a hope here for emotional maturity. This person felt very, very vulnerable around you. This is not a dynamic that they're accustomed to. And they really, really went into their heads in order to establish some control, where this scenario with you is yeah, they went into their heads, they went to the mind, they went to the ego to try and figure out what makes sense, what is real and what is not. And it was just easier for them to stay. It was easier for them to stay and to fall into old patterns. And because the vulnerability and the emotional newness that they've suddenly experienced within themselves made them fear their own ability to navigate or to know what this is with you. And you are hoping that there is emotional maturity so that your person can understand what this actually is. You are a part of this person, part of their well-being, a part of them coming into fullness, a part of their story coming to a beautiful ending, and they just recycled old experiences. As I say, you take the story as it fits. If you are the person that needed to make the choice, then you are the one that's recycled old experiences. Please comment below and let me know how it fits for you. I just want to clarify some of these. Yeah. This is this person that you did not choose, and that part of yourself that you did not choose is your wish fulfillment. Balanced. Where you like to see progress in the material form, in a tangible form. You want to see, feelings are all good and well, yeah, but you want to see progress in a tangible form. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what Spirit is saying to me. This is where you'll see progress in a tangible form. It's very possible that this person could be married. Yeah. This is a very, very deeply emotional connection with equal emotional. You guys feel exactly the same way about one another. If you're wondering how this person feels about you, this person feels exactly the same way about you that you feel about them. This was a beautiful opportunity for new love with wish fulfillment and balance, equal give and take. Yeah, but they got into their head with the situation. They got into their head completely. But your person's still searching. They've not given up the search. There's a part of them that keeps searching for deeper truth, and then the other part of them just wants to stay frozen and stuck. There's definite an energy of being very, very split internally. And this person's problem is they want everybody to be happy. Everybody can't, it doesn't work that way. You know, there is not a situation in the universe. You'll have summer and you'll have you'll have a percentage of humanity loving the fact that it's summer, and you'll have the others wishing that it was winter. You'll everything in life, you will have some people loving it and other people not. And that is why people's happiness and people's ability to be satisfied and level of satisfaction is independent and completely their responsibility, not yours. And this is the problem here. Yeah. And there it is, illusions. You can't be delusional about reality. Reality is that we need to know our why. We need to know why we do what we do. We need to know why we want what we want. We need to understand that. We need to know that with absolute clarity. And every decision that we make needs to support that why. If it doesn't support that why, then it's not a decision we should be making. That's our compass. That is our moral compass. That is how we know if we're wasting time and energy in the wrong places. And if we've got three different spaces in our lives, or three different people that we are trying to make happy, that we want them to like us and we want them to look up to us, we need to take into account that three different people are going to want us to show up in three different ways. Are you going to pay? You can paint yourself blue for the one person, green for the other person, and red for the other person. If you paint all three colors because you're trying to make them happy, then none of them are going to be happy because it's not going to be any of the colors that they want. If the one person wants you to show up as a clown and the other person wants you to dress up as a bear, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to please too many people and you're trying to gain their approval, you are going to fail. You have to show up as authentically as you can, as true to yourself as you can, and the person that values that is going to be the right person. Somebody's going to be upset. Maybe all of them are going to be upset. Either way, you are here to serve your greatest good. You are here to connect with what makes you happy. And that's got to be enough. And if you are doing things that you believe make you happy, but you still feel empty inside and you still cry yourself to sleep because there's heartbreak here, then you didn't make the right choice. I know it seems selfish. We've been programmed to be different, but we've learned by now that the way we've been programmed doesn't work either. So yes, Spirit is saying, during the month of April, and in you getting clarification in this message, you have understood and come to realize that you've suffered certain illusions. You've suffered certain illusions. You've tried to put them together to paint this perfect picture, and it's only imprisoned you. And now you are taking the pieces. You are realizing that you need to take the pieces that fit, piece them together to build your perfect world. You've learned a lot. And you need to understand every decision that you make, whether it's in business, in relationship, you're ultimately choosing yourself. That is the biggest message. That is the most important message that I need to share with you today. Yeah? If you are the one that's had to make this choice, whether it's you or your person, whoever that person is, they now know that they've discovered more of paradise in you than they have anywhere else in their lives, even though their choices show otherwise. Yeah? Yeah, your person says, one moment I was thinking, and then the next minute my curiosity led me down a very, very dark path, and I was stuck, lost in fantasy. There's reality, which is clear. We don't have to fill in any gaps when it comes to reality. It is what it is.